But
oh yeah, you don't need to tell me that.
so people come up to you and go, "Oh man, I'm sorry," and then either they're sorry or they're not sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
So how the hell do you know?
No, you don't really know. But you can tell.
Well, sometimes you can tell, like, you'll walk into a room and then everybody will stop talking, and then so you go, "Hey, were you just talking about how you were glad I got fired from the update?" And they go, "No, we were talking about hats."
But now let me go back to this, and I don't want to embarrass you again, but if Lorne Michaels, the guy who created the show, the guy who's kept the show in business all these years, it's his show, Mr. Big Shot, Mr. Table at Orso's, Lorne Michaels, why doesn't he step in? Why doesn't he throw himself in front of this gorilla to save your job? What's going on there?
With that?
It sounds to me like he's a quizling.
He is?
Well, that's what it sounds like.
Maybe we can get a dictionary at the break. But,
you know what I'm saying? This is the guy. Didn't Lorne Michaels hire you?
Yes, he did.
Well, then who ought to be able to fire you?
Lorne Michaels,
right? So where was he? Did he fire you?
No, he didn't fire me.
But he's like your buddy, right? You're buddies with Lorne.
Yeah, he's a good man, and
now, what did he say to you?
Been very supportive of me.
Well, I guess not. What did he say to you?
He says to me, he said, "Look, Norm, this is the deal. He said, I want you to stay on as Weekend Update."
Oh, good. Well, there you go. Well, great. So you got the job back. That's good news. Attaboy, congratulations. Hang on. Stay right there. Think about it. We're going to get this straightened out. All right, Norm? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah. We'll be right back here with Norm Macdonald. Is here from Saturday Night Live. Peter Wilson from La Femme Nikita Streb. You ever seen these Streb people? Oh, they're great. They're going to change your life. What do you got there, Norm? You looked up Quisling.
Yeah, I looked up
what does it say?
Yeah. And also, do you know what Quizmaster means?
Yeah. That'd be like Alex Trebek. Yeah, I knew that.
No, Quisling is a master of ceremonies on a game show.
There you go.
Quisling is a traitor who serves as the puppet of the enemy occupying his country.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much. Norm Macdonald, you, sir, are no Quisling.
I thought I was dumb when I didn't know what Quisling was. Yeah. I think I'm even dumber now because I still don't know what it is.
But now, Norm, a couple of things come to mind here. This seems so preposterous to me, so unfathomable, so unreasonable that I'm guessing, oh, it's like a stunt, like a publicity stunt, like big-time wrestling or something. Is that kind of deal? Where you and Don Ohlmeyer will have a feud and you'll wrestle on the show or something for your job? One of those deals?
No, I like Don Ohlmeyer.
Oh, no, how can you like... This weasel fired you!
No, but he doesn't think I'm funny.
And yet you like the man.
Sure, I mean, you know.
Here's what.
A lot of people don't think I'm funny.
Enjoy your complimentary beverage. Now, tomorrow night...
It ain't whiskey, but it's good.
Now, there's a great song. Now, tomorrow night, come back on the show, or Friday night, come back on the show and do Weekend Update. You can do Weekend Update here. You can be the Weekend Update guy on this show.
That'd be great.
Well, there you go. Now, who's taking your place on the Weekend Update?
I don't know. Apparently they had some press release today, but I don't read the papers, that wasn't good either.
No, not if you're in charge of Weekend Update to just blatantly admit that you don't know what's going on.
I did too many Nixon jokes.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you who's taking your place. Nobody can take your place, Norm Macdonald. That's what I think. You don't seem to be taking this too hard. You seem to be taking it pretty well.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because if somebody doesn't like you, then and they own the joint, that's fine. I mean, I don't know.
Why would you want to work in that atmosphere? Why wouldn't you want to take a hike and say, well, I'll show you. I'll take my little Weekend Update someplace else and bury you punks?
I don't know. I guess I'm a damn Quisling or something.
Norm, geez, I hope you land on your feet. I think you're going to, but you're going to be in part of the show anyway, right?
Yeah, I'll be doing,
I know.
things.
Yeah.
I'll be, you know, now I find
a hilarious impression of me. You'll be doing that, I guess.
No,
why didn't they fire that?
What they do is now they're saying, oh, we'll put you in a whole bunch of sketches, which I don't want to be in, because then they're like, here, you're the scientist, and you're the scientist in charge of Monkey Boy or some damn thing. And, you know, and then I'm like running in going, hey, cheerleaders, what's going on? I haven't seen Monkey Boy, and I don't know how to...
That ain't a bad sketch, though, Norm.
That's true.
That ain't bad. That's got possibilities. How's everything at home? Your mom all right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you get to see your mom much?
She came to visit me in New York, you know.
That's nice.
And she's real sweet, you know. She doesn't know much about show business, you know, but she always tries, because she knows I'm in show business.
Right, yeah.
I mean, until tonight.
Uh-huh.
And so she always tries to give me, like, the showbiz news. I remember, like, a couple of years ago, she phoned me up. She goes, oh, my God, have you heard the news? Liza Minnelli's a phony. And that was her, like, story.
Liza Minnelli's a phony.
Yeah, and I thought, how can that be like a story?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure she probably is a phony, you know, but how would that be a scoop? And then, like, it took me a while to figure out. She was talking about them, remember Milli Vanilli?
Yeah.
She's like into that stuff, you know.
She must be very excited and proud, though. I mean, because you work with big stars. Like I know you worked with Bill Cosby.
Oh yeah, Bill Cosby, man. He's my favorite guy ever since I was young, and I got to open for him at this comedy thing, and he was the greatest. I got to meet him and stuff. And you know, when you meet these guys, it's so like, you know, you're shock or something, you know, because you can't believe you're talking to this guy. And so I told him, I said, you know, he's always funny. He has that funny way of talking. So I go, hey, hi, nice to meet you, Mr. Cosby. And he goes like, yes, yes. You know?
Yeah.
And then you just laugh, you know? And then, so I go, oh man, I go, you're my favorite, you know? And ever since I was a little kid, I always listened to you. You're my dad's favorite comedian ever, you know? And he goes, now where is your dad from?
Yeah.
You know?
That's
So
pretty
I go,
good.
all right.
That's pretty good.
Maybe I'll do him this week on the show. So I tell Cosby, you know, I say, oh, my dad's from Ottawa. So he turns to his buddy Ben as his manager or something, and he goes, Ben, we aren't the Ottawa, you know? And Ben goes, yes, we are playing Ottawa soon. Ben understands what Cosby says. And he goes, yes, Mr. Cosby, we do have a gig in Ottawa and coming up. And he goes, what is your father? Give me a paper. So he gets a paper and he goes, here, now, write your father's name on the paper. So everything's funny in his head. If I said that, hey, write your father's name on the paper.
No, it's not, no.
So he goes, and the pen. The man needs the pen. You know? So I get the pen and the paper, you know. So I'm writing down my father's thing. And then all of a sudden I realize that my father's dead.
See, that's a problem. Oh, man.
So I panic, you know. I'm in this situation. My dad's been dead 8-9 years, and I got the paper and the pen, you know.
This one's fun.
So I know Ottawa's area code, you know, so I write that, and then I'm just writing down like random numbers, you know. And then I go, here you go, Mr. Cosby, this is my father's still alive's number here, you know. And he's like, hey, I gotta get up, you know. And so I thought, God, man, that's a stupid thing I did, you know. And then a couple weeks later, I get a call, and it's Bill Cosby on the phone. And he's like, I phoned the number. And he was so sweet, like he'd actually phoned my father's number. Like, what a great man, you know?
Man.
And he said, the man does not live with the number. The man answered, and not your father, you know? So I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure. Because I couldn't go, oh yeah, I forgot, he's been dead 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, Norm, I hope
That's
we've
pretty crazy.
been able to get you through your darkest hour. and that I hope you somehow find the will to carry on. And normally this would be the time when we'd mention the show on Saturday night, but I'm so angry about this, and I don't care about the show Saturday night, and neither should you.
Oh.
Good to see you, Norm.
Thank you, man.
Come back anytime. Norm Macdonald. We'll be right back with Peter Wilson. For 5 years, our first guest was the star of Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live, and then he got fired, which makes absolutely no sense to any of us here. He now stars in a brand new film entitled Dirty Work. It opens in May. Here he is, one of our favorites, Norm Macdonald. Norm. You look good, Norm. The crowd goes crazy. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks, man.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You know, Norm, the last time you were here, it was a traumatic, difficult situation because I believe
What's up, man?
the day after you had been released, kind of undone, let go,
Yeah,
something like
it was
that, fired.
It was that very day.
That very day. Yeah. Well, how has it been since then?
Well, it's been weird, you know, like, it's been weird.
You were just fired, as it turned out, right?
Yeah, I got fired.
Right.
And then when I was talking to you on the show that day, because this guy, Don Ohlmeyer, fired me, and I didn't know the guy, you know, and you kept saying, like, he's an idiot, he's a pinhead, you know, and stuff like that. And I would say, like, he's a good guy, you know. And turns out you were right.
Oh, man, good.
Yeah,
Good for you.
I'll admit when I'm wrong.
I've never been happier to be right about something in my life.
Yeah. So, because I went and met with him, you know, I never...
Now, wait a minute. After you get fired, you then have to go to a meeting with the guy?
Yeah, because I wanted to leave the show entirely. You know, I thought that would be the next thing.
Right.
And so, and then, you know, I talked to all these guys I pay money to, you know, and I go, hey, how about you guys figure out something there, you know? And then they're like, well, we were talking to this one guy that said that he maybe could do, you know, and it took forever. So I said, how about I just go talk to the dude that fired me?
Face to face,
Yeah.
mano a mano. It shows great courage, great class, grace, I believe, on your part.
Yeah, well, I'm a courageous, classy dude. So I have to go to his office there. He lives in Hollywood, California, you know. And
he's a big shot, this guy, Don Ohlmeyer, a big shot.
Oh, yeah.
One of these guys comes to work very early and spends most of the day selecting monograms, you know. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his office is like, I went to his office, and it's this big office, you know, and then you go in there. I'm not used to these things, you know. I'm just a guy used to nightclub, you know, smoky nightclubs.
You're a hard-working guy.
Yeah. So I go in there, and that guy, Don Ohlmeyer's there, so I go, how you doing? And we talk, and
Well, how was that? Was it cordial? Was it a bit icy?
No, it was cordial. He gave me a lighter.
Like for being, like it's what, a parting gift? Well, he's giving you what?
He had a lighter, you know, and he goes, hey, I want a lighter? And then he gave me an umbrella. I don't know, it was like a...
You get fired and you get stuff. Like, hey, I've got a clock radio, I've got a lighter.
Anything on the top shelf, I could have. So I just said to the guy, I said, listen, man, because I appreciate that you don't think I'm funny. That's
now,
fine.
that was the issue. That seemed to be the turning point. Don Ohlmeyer didn't think you were funny.
Exactly.
Right now, in your assessment of him in this meeting, is he a funny guy?
Well, it's not his job. His job is picking up them monograms.
Yeah. But he's one of these guys, he fancies himself creative, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, I suppose. I mean,
Well, you know, I worked for Don Ohlmeyer when I was at NBC for years and years and years, and I know the guy.
Yeah.
And here's a guy who could not create gas after a bean dinner.
That's one Nook.
That's not true. I witnessed that. No, the thing was, I said, okay, so you think I'm not funny? That's fine, you know, who cares? But I said, why don't we just, I'll quit and leave the show, right? You keep your money, because you don't want to pay money to a guy that's not funny.
Exactly.
And then I'll go try to be funny somewhere else.
Perfect point.
And then he didn't like that idea.
Why not?
I don't know, because it seems to me that, because, you know, there's other networks, there's CBS.
Well, other networks, sure.
Yeah. And so my contention was, I thought he would love that idea, because what better for his network?
Ooh, boom goes the dynamite.
Exactly.
Well done, Sarge.
You can't have it both ways.
He can have it both ways, apparently. He's a Quisling?
Yes. No. But at least there are no Quislings in the picture now. When you were here before, I smelled a Quisling. The Quislings are gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Good for you.
And so the way it stands now is I can leave the show as long as I don't do anything else on any competing show.
Right. Well, that stinks. That's no good. Now, how long will that last?
I don't know, man. It's as long as
contractually, how long are you bound to them?
I'm bound to them It's all stuff that I'm not that familiar with.
But in the meantime, they are continuing to pay you, right?
Yeah, they pay me, and I go to the show and hang out.
Yeah. Now, what is that like, being around your old friends on the show? Do they like having you there now or not?
Well, everybody's kind of uncomfortable. Nobody wants, everybody's uncomfortable.
Sure.
And they'd be glad to see me go, and I'd be glad to see them see me go. And just this Don Ohlmeyer character.
Yeah.
You know? Is, I don't know. I don't know how this...
You know what you should do, though? You should come here to CBS and get a show right here. You should come to CBS and make Pretty Boy, make Mr. Cufflinks, make Don Ohlmeyer. I want to find out, Norm, how your family and friends are taking this, and we'll do that. We have to pause. We'll return visiting with Norm Macdonald, ladies and gentlemen. Kid who invented the talk underwater thing. Well, I would guess that one of the good things about this, you had some time off. Have you taken some vacation? Have you gone anywhere, traveled?
Yeah. I went. I wanted to get away from all the showbiz, crazy showbiz.
Yeah.
So I decided I'd go on a vacation. You know? And I don't like to go to hotels, because all my years of doing my nightclub act, I don't like hotels.
Yeah.
So I decided I'll go, my buddy tells me, he goes, hey, you should go to one of them bed and breakfasts. You ever hear tell of that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. The idea is you go there, it's a guy's house, and you live in his room, and then he makes you some breakfast.
Right. Very yeah.
It's a thumbnail.
Yeah, that's it, sure.
So I looked one up on the internet there, and I found one. I went to Vancouver Island, Victoria, which is beautiful. Oh,
yeah.
God, it's God's country. And so I go there, and I look up my place where I'm supposed to go. I have it on a little piece of paper, and I knock on the door, right? And there's no answer. So I knock again, and there's still no answer. So finally, I look like in the window there, and there's an old man sleeping on a couch,
Yeah.
So I banging on the door, ringing the doorbell, So finally I hear hey, keep your pants on there, from the inside. And he comes to the door, old guy, but I'd say 80, 85 years old Harold Delaney was his name.
Harold Delaney?
Yeah, nice enough gentleman, And so I got in there, and I says, well, I better go to sleep. There's no one else there, I thought it'd be like a whole bunch of people in different rooms,
Yeah.
And it was just me. Yeah. So I go up, and I go to sleep, and I'm ready to go to sleep, and a knock comes on the door, right? Knock on my bedroom door.
Right.
So I figure, old Harold Delaney wants to have sex with me there. And
That's the first thought that went through your mind, huh?
Well, I'm a young fella. These days, anything
not a
goes.
bad-looking guy? Sure, yeah.
I'm not
Traveling alone? Why
sure.
not?
And, of course, I didn't come to Victoria to have sex with old Harold Delaney. You know? I came to do some sightseeing.
Of course.
Yeah. So, then I hear him, he goes, well, you ought to play some Scrabble.
Oh, Scrabble.
Yeah, so I say, okay, that's good. I'll play some Scrabble. So I go down, and he pulls out this old Scrabble game there, and he starts to play, and I like Scrabble, So I get the first turn, because I picked the lower letter. And so I get the first turn. So I make rabbit,
Pretty good.
It's a good word. And then I do it pretty quick. I take like a couple of minutes. And then old Harold Delaney, he takes like a half hour to like get his word. And the whole time he's not talking, he's not telling me old stories. I like hearing old stories, And instead, it was like for a half hour, it was just Harold Delaney going. So then after a half an hour of that, I'm just sitting there. He comes up with his word. It's hat. That's his word, yeah. Hat. So he puts it, and he takes the word hat, and then he puts it like way in the corner on that triple letter score.
Right.
The triple word, the red one
Right.
you want to get to.
Yeah, sure.
But you can't just put it there.
No. It's got to have some relation to rabbit.
Yeah. You got to move up there, and finally get to there. But instead, he just puts it right there.
Oh, no.
So I go, all right, And so then it's my turn, I do something, and quickly, and then again, the same thing, like, and then time going by, and then every word, and I was coming up with good words, I had sleigh, a sleigh ride, and avocado.
Whoa.
It was a 7-letter word.
Yep.
You get 50 extra points. I'm still way behind him.
He's just freelancing the board.
Yes. And so finally I decided I'm going to I got to say something, you know? So and all his words were like cup and hat, and I think it was just like things he'd see around the room, And so I'm playing excellently. I should be in the lead, but instead I'm like 1,000 points behind. And finally, I got to say something, So he puts boot, on this triple, and it really annoyed me because I was building towards the triple letter. And he just puts boot, and so I said, finally, I got to say something here. And I go, hey, old Harold Delaney there, I don't know, you can't put boot there. And then he goes, you never heard tell of a boot? So I go, no, I know what a boot is. I'm just saying. He goes, I know if a fella goes out there has to wear a boot. So I go, no, I know I made avocado. I know a boot. And it just took him forever. And also I noticed a weird thing. There were no blanks. You had the blanks in the game, and it's always good to use any letter, right? Yeah. I realized there's no blanks in this game, and I figured old Harold Delaney must have, when he got the game, figured, what the hell is that, and throwing it away. Yeah.
Now, how was the breakfast? Did you have the breakfast?
There was no breakfast. I got up the next day. I was so hungry from playing Scrabble all night. So he says, hey, Harold, how you doing there? How about some breakfast? And he goes, I've never been much for breakfast. So I go, oh, all right. So I go, I guess I'll go down to McDonald's and pick up some breakfast or something, Harold. And he goes, can you get me an egg McMuffin? It was crazy.
Norm, you got a movie coming out here, Dirty Work, opening May 15th. So things are looking good for you.
Yeah, that's going to be a good movie.
Good for you. You're landing on your feet, buddy. That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
Nice to have you here.
Unless the movie stinks.
No, the movie will be... very popular star of the Saturday Night Live Weekend Update. We're always happy when he finds time in his schedule to drop by and say hello. Here he is, the always amusing Norm Macdonald. Norm, thank you. Very funny, Norm. I always enjoy your work, and I'm glad you're here. Nice
Me too, man. You're the funniest dude in the world.
No, I'm not. I'm just mediocre funny.
And you got the 1,000 shows,
right.
1,000 shows.
Yeah, but you're really funny, and you'll always have that. I'm just a dork.
What?
I'm just a dork, struggling. Just a guy trying to make a buck.
What?
What have you been doing? What have you been doing? And what's going on in your life? Take us through some of your activities, your life, your free time. So, a couple hours with Norm Macdonald.
I got a lot of free time now, and so what I did was I returned to my first love, dance. I returned to my first love, the stand-up comedy.
Oh, you're doing the stand-up. Good
Yeah,
for you.
so I go around the country to different smoky nightclubs, and I do my jokes.
Yeah.
And it's great. The doing the jokes is fun, but then the rest of the time, did you ever go on the road?
A little bit. I didn't care for it. It just didn't have the stamina for it. It's difficult.
It's rough, man, because other than doing the stand-up, you just go to a town, you're basically like a drifter or something, you show up, you hang around, and then you sit and you're watching the TV all the time, and I love the TV, but when you watch it all the time, you just watch anything, I watched ESPN too, they got all the Deuce.
Yeah, sure, the Deuce, yeah.
And they got sports there that, they're kind of weird sports, like they got kickboxing, you hear that sport?
Yeah.
And that's an odd sport. What they do is they combine the style and grace of boxing with kicking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of immature. A guy's boxing, all of a sudden he kicks the guy, They're just cheating,
Yeah, I think so. Sure.
Yeah. And then also what you do is you try to get the pay movies there,
Oh yeah, you ever dial up any of the? You can get like first-run features on.
Yeah. I ordered Pulp Fiction. You know that movie?
Oh, sure.
It's a gritty urban satire. It said that on the little thing. I wouldn't have known. And so I said, I'll get Pulp Fiction. I heard great things about that. So I order it, right? Mm-hmm. And they send me a different movie, a movie called by the name of Pump Friction.
I never heard of it.
You never heard of that movie?
No, what is it?
Well, it's different than Pulp
Or
Fiction.
dice.
Pulp Fiction is a gritty urban satire. Pump Friction is a bunch of dudes and ladies having dirty sex.
Whoa!
And,
So there's a mix-up, obviously.
Yeah. And it wasn't a bad movie, It was... Actually, with those dirty movies, I find, they're good for about 15, 20 minutes. I'm really interested.
Right.
And then there's one point that all of a sudden I'm bored, I can't... I just lose interest completely, and I feel deeply ashamed,
The human mechanism working there. I don't know what that is. Norm, how's your family been with your recent situation with Saturday Night Live? You don't work there anymore.
Yeah.
They're probably very proud when you had the job, and now you don't have that. I mean, how have they been a bit supportive, I would think?
Oh, yeah, they're supportive. My mom came to visit me, here in New York City, and she wanted to go to a Broadway play. That's her idea in New York. Sure. Broadway, they got the Broadway plays.
She comes down from Canada?
Canada, yeah, from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And she's, she doesn't know, she's not a big city person like you and me. So she's like, oh, we gotta go see a Broadway play. So, but I didn't want to, because the last time she came and visited, I took her to this Broadway play, and I'd never been to a Broadway play, Mm-hmm. So I took her to this one. They had this one, How to Succeed in Business, even if you don't really care to.
Right.
And I take her to that.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Right.
She wasn't there. They had some other lady. So we get in there, and I never been to a play. Oh my God, it's horrible. You go in, and you got to sit. They have little chairs. You're all crunched up. It costs like $90 or something like that. And then you sit there, you watch it, and these dudes come in. They're all doing stuff, you know, and the thing is, like, you kind of gotta use your imagination a lot, because they'll go, like, it's an office, right? Meanwhile, it's just a chair and a desk, you know? And then they have, like, maybe a window with, like, a fake moon behind it.
Yeah.
So you go, oh, I guess it's nighttime there, you know? And it's, like, just hellish, you know? And then everybody's singing every time, you know? And singing and dancing around, and it was about business, you know, about the business world, you know. And so at one point there, the coffee guy comes, you know, he's bringing in the coffee, and so then they all get excited because the coffee's coming, and so they're singing, oh, here's the coffee, we want to drink the coffee, you know. And really excited about that. And my mom, she talks. She's used to just watching the TV, and so she doesn't know that you're not supposed to talk out loud. And so she's like, the whole time, she's like, oh, good God, that's just like me. I have to have my coffee in the morning. And I'm like, all right, you know, it's okay. And then I think the coffee machine broke. Then everybody went, oh, we have our coffee. So it lasted forever. And like, you're just watching the stuff and trying to imagine what it would really look like on the TV, you know? So then finally the damn thing's over. It takes like an hour and a half. And you go, okay, let's get the hell out of here. You go out. It's not over. It's intermission. They have an intermission. So, intermission, you know, it's you go out into this crowded foyer, just packed with people, and they're all discussing it, you know, they're going, hey, remember the coffee there? And I'm going, holy Lord, so I see some dude that works there. I go, hey, listen, you got that Knicks Charlotte game on somewhere? Because I knew the Knicks were playing the Hornets there. And the guy, no, sir, no, you know. And I go, anything, the sports ticker or something like that? He goes, no, this is the theater. You know, he's all like snooty, you know. This is the theater, and the, like, you know, it's a theater. There's got a whole bunch of them. The theater. So then now when she came back, I you know, definitely didn't want to take her to another Broadway. You know, it's my mom and everything, and she's got, oh, we gotta go see another Broadway play. And I go, yeah. Then you know, the playoffs are starting and everything, you know. But so I go, okay, well, why don't we go to like, you know, Cats? I hear that's a good thing. You know, so I take her. Oh, you know what? An interesting thing. When we're going to Cats, we're walking down the street, and my mom stops in a donut shop. She likes eating donuts. And she goes in to buy herself a cruller there, and I stay outside.
A cruller?
A cruller is a type of donut.
Cruller is the same as a cruller?
What did I say?
I think it's a cruller, but I could be wrong as well. I don't know. Cruller. Maybe a cruller.
Yeah, it's a cruller.
It's a cruller. All right.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a cruller.
Yeah. Isn't that?
No, because even on the thing it says C-R-U-L, and then over the U is like one of those things.
Yes. Yeah.
So I said, yeah, go get yourself a cruller. And I waited a second. She comes out, she goes, oh, Norm, oh my God, you wouldn't believe it. She says, your friend David Letterman is in the donut shop.
Is that right?
And she thinks we're friends, you know, I don't know. I guess I told her we were friends. You know?
We're sort of friends.
I told her we were best friends.
Well, I would like to be your friend. Sure.
So she says, oh, he's in there. And I go, Mom, man, David Letterman's not in a donut shop. You know, it doesn't make sense. And, you know, he's my best friend. I would know, you know, if he was in a donut shop. So she says, no, just go say hi to him. He'll like to see you. So I go into the donut shop, and there's a dude sitting there. He's not you.
Yeah.
He's just some dude with like a Late Show T-shirt on.
Right.
And I think he was even like a Mexican guy or something like that. You know?
It could be, I guess, yeah.
And so I said, oh, man, that can't be David Letterman, you know? So I walk out and I say, Mom, you know, that was him, but he's busy, you know? And, he doesn't want to be bothered by any of this. So anyways, we go to the Cats, you know? And this is something I've heard about for years, Cats. Been on around
Now and forever.
Yeah, is that what it is?
I think.
Yeah. And I go there. I go, what?
Cruller.
So I go to Cats. You're not, I don't know if I'm an idiot or if everybody else is an idiot, but it's probably me.
No.
It's about cats.
That's right.
I'm talking. It's about actual cats.
Okay.
So I said to the guy at halftime during the thing, I go out and I say to the dude working there, I say, good God, man, that's about actual cats, right? So the guy goes, well, what the hell you expect? It says cats. And I go, I don't know. I thought it was like a symbolism. You know what I mean?
Sure, right.
I mean, if you went to like
nice
Dog Day Afternoon and there's a bunch of dogs in the afternoon, you'd want your money back.
Literal, exactly, yeah. Listen, Norm, it's good to see you again. I want you to have a lovely summer and keep us posted as to what's going on in the future, right? Nice to have you with us,
Hey,
Norm.
thanks for
Norm Macdonald, everybody. We'll be back to Pearl Jam. You know, for many years, our first guest was the very, very funny and popular anchor of the Saturday Night Live Weekend Update. Now he's starring in a brand new motion picture entitled Dirty Work, and it opens June 12th. Here's Norm Macdonald. Norm. Hey, Norm. Nice to see you. Welcome back
Nice
to
to
the show.
see you,
Huh?
too. Nice to see you, too.
How's it going?
It's going all right. It's
Good.
pretty good.
Hey, you're a movie star, buddy. How many films you been in?
I was in the People versus Larry Flint. As you know, I played one of the people.
Right.
And that's about all.
Yeah, and now you have the Dirty Work coming out.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of the movie this afternoon. I haven't seen the entire movie because we couldn't get a copy. But yeah, I got some of it, so I looked at some of it. Very entertaining.
Yeah.
A lot of good people in it. Chris Farley. You know, it's very when you see Chris Farley in this film.
Yeah, Chris Farley.
It's just one of those things. You see that, and for a second, you know, mind plays for a second. You think, oh, great, and then you realize, oh, well, this will probably be his last movie. But he's very, well, I mean, obviously I know it's his last movie.
Yeah, it will be his last movie.
But he's really funny.
He's
I mean, the guy
incredibly
is
funny,
just naturally funny.
And he was great.
Chevy Chase in the film as well.
Chevy Chase and Don Rickles.
Yeah. Oh
He
yeah,
was
I like
great.
Don. Don's
Yeah,
great,
Don's
isn't he?
great.
Was he fun to hang around with?
He was really fun. Like we just wanted him to insult people in the movie. So we just wrote these insults that I thought sounded like Don Rickles. And then he got there and he like insulted the insults. He said they were all horrible. So then he just insulted. He just said, do whatever you want, just insult us. And he was funny. He's especially funny when he insults you and it makes no sense.
Right. Yeah.
Like he'd come out to me and he'd go, let me tell you something. Why don't you go to Alaska and suck on a green whale? And I go, what? I don't know, what does that mean?
Yeah, pretty good. And you wrote the film, right?
Yeah, I wrote the film.
Yeah.
I wrote it like, because there's all these guys that I really like Chevy and Don Rickles and Farley and stuff. So I just wrote them all into the movie, and then I was lucky that I got them all to do it.
And, you know, I was surprised.
It's hard to write a movie, man.
Oh, I
Holy
would think
Lord,
so, yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, because people send me scripts sometimes to be in, and I can't even read them. They take like hundreds of words, and you get all sleepy, you know? So to write it is even way harder because I don't have a typewriter, first of all, at all.
Really?
I never learned how to type. And so my buddy Frank has one, so he wrote it with me.
Now it's nice of you to include Frank, but did he write it or just type it?
No, he wrote it.
He was a co-writer on
Yeah,
this.
he was a co-writer. Yeah. My buddy Frank and Fred. Frank Sebastiano and Fred Wolf.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Yeah.
I always say to Fred Wolf, he lives in Hollywood, and I say to him, you must be pretty comfortable out there in Hollywood, Fred Wolf, because there's a lot of wolves out there. You know, a Hollywood wolf?
Yeah, well, sure, yeah.
Skirt chaser.
A skirt chaser, that's right. And you know what? I thought this was interesting. You know who directed the movie? Of course you know. You were in the film. TV blooper Bob Saget. Bob TV blooper Saget.
Yeah, he directed it.
Yeah. Can he direct?
No, not at all.
Was it just a lot of people getting hit with a rake and stuff? Just boing,
No,
come down at weddings and that kind of thing?
It was very comfortable with him as a director, though, because, like, he would give me, like, acting notes. He'd go, I think you should do it this way. And then I'd go, I've seen you on that Full House. What are you talking about?
So you hired him to direct the movie so you'd have somebody to push around? Is that what it is?
No, he actually is very, very funny.
Yeah, he's a nice and a smart guy. Don't kid yourself. He's a smart guy.
No, he's a smart guy, wealthy.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, for several years he had two shows, two big popular hot shows
top
on ABC.
10 shows.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah, they hold no benefits for this guy.
No.
Yeah. Now, there's every time you're on the show, there's some kind of controversy. There's some kind of controversy
I
with
know.
you. And I pick up the paper this morning, and actually I have people who pick it up for me. And right there, bingo, another controversy.
Yeah.
And so I tell you what, let's hang on to it for a second. We'll go away. When we come back, we'll talk to Norm about the latest nasty controversy in this poor man's life. We'll be right back. Beautiful city. Yeah, you're out in Hollywood now, though, aren't you?
Jacques Villeneuve?
Yeah, Jacques Villeneuve. Canadian.
Canadian who grew up in my city, and his father was my all-time hero. Gilles. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Did you meet him backstage?
No, I haven't. I met Randy Travis, and I'm a huge country music fan, and George Jones is my favorite, so this is a big night for me.
Do you like the new country or you like the old
No, the new is gay.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, sure.
I like the old stuff. Billy Joe Shaver.
Did you ever go see these guys work?
I saw George Jones. My dad took me to see George Jones, and he was a bit of a drinker.
George, oh yeah.
Yeah. And so I was a little kid. My dad had seen him like 10 times. And when I was like 9, I went to see George Jones. And my dad said, the last song George sings is He Stopped Loving Her Today, his signature piece.
That's the end of it, yeah.
Greatest country song ever sung. So here he is, George Jones. His third song, he goes, He Stopped Loving Her. And so my dad goes, oh, damn. And so then at the end,
Holy crap.
yeah, holy crap.
Yeah.
So George Jones did like an 8-minute concert. And then afterwards, right after, he goes, Good night, Ottawa. Thank you very much. I was like, what?
So George kind of just got fuzzy a little bit, didn't know what he was doing.
And he went home, and then everybody got their money back.
It was a happy ending. So anyway, the movie, which from what I've seen, it looks very, very funny.
It is. It's hilarious.
And it looks very funny. And you're a funny man, and I think the world of you. So I know the movie is going to be very successful, and I know this is going to be a great thing in your career. But what is this attending controversy? What is going on?
Well, in the paper
What
today,
is the problem?
I don't know. In the paper today, you got the TV Post, right?
Right here.
There it is.
This is today's New York Post. Take a look at
There's
that.
a picture of me with a big X through my head.
Now, what the hell is that all about? NBC Dirty Work Nix's Norm. What exactly are we talking about there?
Yeah, that's Don Ohlmeyer has decided not to run
This is
any...
Don Ohlmeyer right here. This is the guy who runs NBC.
Yeah.
Don Ohlmeyer right there. Hi, girls, would you mind coming up to the suite audition? That's Don right there. Yeah.
So-
There you go. Oh, sure, Don always gets a suite.
So Don has decided not to run any ads for my movie on his network,
Now,
NBC.
what is the deal? Now, NBC, now, Norm, let's just do the math on this a little bit. NBC is owned by General Electric, maybe the single biggest global corporate entity on the globe.
Yeah.
And they're generating, GE and NBC generating, several $1 billion a year.
Yeah.
You know what the hell could they possibly care about you and your movie? What is going on?
I don't understand it at all.
Did you do something to this guy? Did you bust into his house or something?
No, I didn't do it. I don't understand, first of all. Yeah, because I get kind of depressed sometimes, because this guy, he's best friends with O.J. Simpson.
Right.
And that's
Now,
fine.
is that true? Are they best friends?
Yes, they're best friends.
They hang out. This guy and O.J., they play golf.
Yes. Now, how can he not like me?
Yeah. Yeah, girls, just go on, read the lines, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, give me a call. So the deal is they won't advertise your movie on NBC?
They won't advertise my movie on NBC. And then just before I came to the show, they tell me they have canceled all these interviews I had with any NBC affiliate. Don Omar actually phoned NBC affiliates, you know, these little stations.
That's great.
And
He's got nothing better to do. Yeah. He doesn't have to kiss up to Seinfeld now, so that freed up his whole day. He doesn't have to kiss his ass anymore. It's just So they're like worried that your movie is somehow going to put NBC out of business? Is that what it is?
They do not want the movie to be successful at all.
This is the guy who fired you from Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought it was over. And then I keep reading like feud. There's no feud because
no, there's not.
I never did anything to him.
That's right.
For a feud, I'd have to be going you know. But I don't know what it is. He seems like a nice. I met him once.
This is terrorism. This is terrorism. This is completely uncalled for.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is. They are scared because Seinfeld was canceled, you know, and then what other big shows do they have over there?
Single Guy.
Yeah. So and they're
Rhoda? Is Rhoda still on?
They're afraid because they fired you that somehow you're going to come back and bite them in the ass. That's what they're worried about. And I would take this as a great compliment. A great compliment to your wit and wisdom.
But I just want to open up a paper and read about who's on the Lisa Gibbons show today.
Yeah, that's right. That's how you start your day.
Yeah.
It's like a punch in the stomach, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
All right, let's go on to more pleasant matters. We're going to show a little bit of the film.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this clip I wanted to show you because it's Chris Farley, and I think he's really funny. What happened was he came and he's a great writer and and he can off the top he can
Ad-lib.
Ad-lib. I'm not a good ad-libber myself.
Canadian.
But he could improvise. And so there was this scene where I told him, just say whatever you want, because I know like how crazy funny he is. So he was just supposed to go, I come to him for help in this character. His character has no nose, half a nose. And I'm in trouble in the movie, so I come to Chris Farley, and I ask him, his name is Jimmy No Nose, and I ask him, he says, I ask him for some help, you know? He can help me out, I'm in trouble. And then Chris Farley just improvises this. That's brilliant.
Here we go. The name of the film, of course, is Dirty Work. Norm Macdonald, Chris Farley. Take a look. Here we go. Norm Macdonald, Chris Farley. Dirty Work. It opens June 12th.
June the 12th.
Have you had a big premiere? Is it going to be like a big premiere, a spotlight?
Yeah, there is going to be, but I don't know now.
Yeah, well, what do you mean?
Well, maybe Olmeyer has some kind of connections.
He's following you around, shutting down all your fun. Don't you worry about him. Don't you worry about him. He's jealous. That's what it is.
He's jealous.
Yeah.
In this movie, actually, I get revenge against this rich jackass that makes my life a living hell.
Well, there you go. Norm Macdonald, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Our first guest is a very funny man with his own brand new television program called The Norm Show. It premieres Wednesday on another network. Here's our good friend Norm Macdonald. Norm?
GG.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
I got to tell you something, Norm. I'm very happy for you because one or two times ago when you were on the show, you had been fired. You'd lost your job at Saturday Night Live on the Weekend Update because those people didn't have the guts to stand by. Those people wouldn't know funny if it bit them in the ass.
Yeah.
And they, of course, were hoping that they'd never hear from you again.
Yeah.
They were hoping, of course, that they had squashed out another career.
Right.
They thought, oh, okay, that's it for him. We don't have to worry about... Well, I saw two shows that you did, two of the Norm shows.
Oh, yeah.
I guess shows. They're unbelievably fun.
Oh, you like?
They're great shows.
Oh, that's nice.
And I believe this thing's going to be a huge hit. And then, and I don't want to tell you how to run your career, but then just line up all those folks over there at NBC. You know, your Don Myers, your Lorne Michaels, your Skippy.
Skippy Lowe. Skippy Henderson.
Yeah.
Oh, Skippy Lowe?
You just line up all those boys and tell them to kiss your ass.
No, it was nice. I was working like all the time, so it was good. Like after the show, I got to, I returned to my first love of.
Oh, he's an old time player. I remember him from years ago. Yeah, GG's fine.
Anyway, you're living in Los Angeles now, where you do your hit TV show.
Yeah. I don't like Los Angeles.
You're originally Canadian, right up in the Toronto area?
Toronto, yeah.
Come down here to New York.
I come to New York, and Toronto and New York is great because they have cabs and subways, because I don't know how to drive a car, you know.
You don't drive at all?
No, I never learned how.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I don't like them. I find them dangerous, you know? Like, you drive and you're in a car, and you're going like 70, and then another car comes, he's going 70, right? And then there's like a foot between you, you know? Yeah. You're like, ah, and they're honking, and then who knows, but it's only a foot, you know? They move a little bit, and there's a crash, and you're always seeing crashes. Every time you drive, there's a crash, there's a big twisted wreckage of a crash, you know? And nobody seems to care. They're like, oh, I guess I'll be late for work. You know?
So you don't drive at all.
You know, like. Points behind, and finally, like I gotta say something, you know. It's a boot, you know, on this triple, and it really annoyed me because I was building towards the triple letter, and he just put boot, and so I said, fine, I gotta say something. And I go, hey, old Harold, there. I don't know, you can't put boot there, and then he goes, you never heard tell of a boot? No, I know what a boot is. I'm just saying. He goes, if that fella goes out there to wear a boot. So I go, no, I know what I made avocado. I know a boot. You know? And it just took him forever. And I think, and I was like, a weird thing. There were no blanks. You know how you have the blanks in the game? It's always good you any letters, right? I realized there's no blanks in this game. And I figured old Harold Delaney must have, when he got the game, figured, what the hell is that, you know, and throwing it away.
You know, all afternoon, you've been playing off with a cigarette. Did you smoke?
I quit smoking a year ago.
Good for you.
Thank you. You quit smoking?
Yeah.
And you, when you smoked at the tomorrow show,
We puffed. We didn't smoke. We puffed.
probably caused many children to start smoking.
So you hold a cigarette and you never got it?
Yes, it helps have oral fixation, the doctor told me. That never Hey, one time, this is one of the funny things I ever saw. Robert Blake was on throwback huge vocal story. Remember that?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you couldn't even
We did
believe
it about
like
6
that.
times, as a matter of fact.
All right, folks, I hold in my right hand tonight's top 10 list.
Another classic top 10.
Yeah.
Now, John Rickles joins us shortly here on tonight's show. You know Don. You worked with Don.
He's a great man.
You did a movie with him.
I did a movie with him.
Don. Slip of the tongue.
So I was with Don, and he was there. He was one of my favorite guys. And we did this long take in the movie where, because we hadn't really written it, we figured we'd get Don Rickles.
Really? Yeah. Went to Don with your
So he started just insulting everybody, but then he started to run out, and at one point I was standing beside this other guy, a fat guy, and he goes up to, sometimes he just says stuff to me, and he goes up to the guy beside me, and he goes, look, you look like that. Yeah, so that was a good one. And then he comes up to me, and he's completely out, he's on the side. Look, when do you go to Alaska? Suck on the plane. And I said, hey, that sounds a lot like what you just said to that guy.
Yeah, right.
And then he got real mad. Then he had like 20 of them.
We're back with Norm Macdonald. I'm sure you're enjoying every hour of our time together. Richard Simmons was your been here tonight, but Richard is out helping people lose weight. COVID. So, he couldn't be. Do you work out yourself?
I got one thing. I got the abs studio.
Oh, you do? Really?
No abs. I got tits. I didn't even know what abs were.
or why they're called that.
Or what you need them for. Anyway.
Like, how are your abs?
Yeah, they're like steel. I have to go to work. I don't know what you do. Kill people? I don't know what you do. You know, they used to have fun with steel.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's that.
What was the thigh?
The thigh man. Isn't that your nickname for yours?
Not at all.
No, I thought it was you.
But I just wonder how you come on and you say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my product called the thigh.
Yeah.
The guys who sat around a meeting table and said, we call it the thigh master.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Don't they have the ass man? That was your nickname. I thought they had the ass man.
This ain't cable, kid. Very funny stuff when he goes out, Letterman, with people, you know, around.
Yeah, the door-to-door stuff.
Door-to-door.
That was great.
And how about the time
I was a door-to-door salesman.
Did you really? What'd you sell?
Door. It never worked out.
What other jobs have you had besides actor and comedian?
I was town drunk, village idiot.
No, but be serious with this. You have a wait table or drive a cab or something like that?
I did. I don't drive, but
Oh, right.
worked.
You got a ride cab.
Right. It doesn't pay well. I did a lot of manual labor. Did all manual labor.
What, brickwork?
Brickwork, I did. Yeah.
You're making all this up as we go, aren't you?
No.
That whole thing that we showed about the Scrabble game, you made that whole thing up.
No, that was truth. Truth is stranger than fiction.
You
I
said
keep
that.
trying to tell you that.
Heavy lifting?
I did a lot of heavy lifting. I moved furniture. That's a hard job.
Yes,
moving furniture because the stairs are never right for the contours of the giant couch that you have to lift up. People that I work with, they all lift up. One time, this is an interesting story. You've probably seen it. I was working with an old guy. His name was Gus, and we had to move this thing up a ladder, see, to a balcony. Couldn't get it out of the spiral. Okay. So you have to go outside and put a ladder up. Old Gus, he's on the balcony. Yep. With a rope holding this giant refrigerator.
And abs of steel.
And it has no scale. I'm on the bottom climbing up the ladder, pushing the refrigerator. I slip off the ladder and fall down, and old Gus has the entire weight of the refrigerator. And his muscles are freezing. I didn't let go. That was.
No, it's a great story. We're here with Norm Macdonald. Have I said that before tonight?
Yeah.
Any good wishes for Dave before we go?
Yeah, the best.
Man, the sincerity just flows off of you.
I love Dave. And I love you. I was glad to see you back on TV. You kept saying you were leaving and one day you'd be back.
And truth is stranger than fiction. Dave returns on Monday night. Don Rickles is still ahead, and our thanks to Norm Macdonald for joining us here tonight. Late show. Continued success on the Norm Show.
Thank you, sir.
And continued success. See you soon, my pleasure.
See you at the dog park.
See you at the dog park.
Guest, a very funny man and the star of the popular television program Norm. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our good friend Norm Macdonald. Norm, come on out.
But won't follow.
Norm, how you doing? You all right?
Oh, great. Yeah.
Now, you said to me when you came out, and I appreciate it, you said, hey, nice to see you, man. And then you looked at me and you said, you look great, but the look in your eye, I can tell you didn't mean it. Now, do I look bad? Do I look like I'm fading here?
No, I felt weird saying you look great always means like it sounds
Compared to being dead is what you were thinking, right?
Actually, when I saw you on Monday, because they were promoing it all day, but they never showed you
Right.
the promo.
Yeah. Slick, huh?
Yeah. And I said, I wonder what Dave's gonna look like. And I was watching my buddy, and then you come out, and your face looked like green.
Green. Ooh.
And then I said, oh my God, Dave's face turned green. Right? And then it turned like pink.
Ooh.
And then I realized it was my TV. It wasn't him.
You thought maybe it was a side effect of the surgery at first.
No, I knew that people don't say green, pink, green, pink.
Yeah.
But I thought right at first you were green. I said, oh my God. So anyways, I'm gonna get my TV fixed, which is a lot better than, when you think about it.
Yeah. Easier probably too.
Than
Now,
kidding you.
I heard something that I thought was interesting, and
I get nervous. I get nervous when I'm sick of chili. I know you're not
I'm
sick.
fine.
No.
I've been through a rather strenuous procedure,
No, I know.
but I'm not.
Oh my God, I know all about that stuff. I go to doctors all the time.
You do, really?
Yeah, yeah.
You seem like you're in pretty good shape.
Well, I'm afraid of getting sick, though, man. I'm afraid of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't like I go to specialists. I go to the Mayo Clinic.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty good up there.
They're great.
You got some top boys.
Yeah, because I used to go to general practitioners, GPs.
Yeah.
Those guys suck. I don't even understand what they're general. They're not a specialist or anything. So they're kind of like, yeah, I'm a little bit good at it. So I go, give me a physical. You know what they do? They go like this. They poke around my belly. You know what I mean? And then they take a thing. They look at my ear with a light.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I go, oh, is everything all right there in my head? That's good, huh?
They can see the entire
Yeah,
head.
they go, yeah, everything's all right there. Then they take the thing. It's almost like a cartoon. Like they hit my knee with a mallet.
The reflex mallet. Sure, yeah.
And that never comes back negative, you know? I mean,
You're hooked up.
Right.
Sometimes it might, but you're hooked up pretty good.
no, they go, you're not. Good news, you're not paralyzed from the neck down. Your knee responds to me hitting it with a hammer.
Now, Norm,
But thank God,
he's not done. He's just resting.
thank
Now,
God I miss you, though.
I want to ask you a question about your personal life, and if it's none of my business, please tell me. Now, I heard that you had given up, you had a recreation, you had a hobby, gambling. You enjoyed gambling.
Yeah, I had the hobby of compulsive gambling.
Really? And you've given it up?
Yeah.
Well, good for you. That's a big step.
Yeah.
So how's that going?
It's not much fun. Life isn't much fun without it.
Really?
No. It's not a lot of fun because there's nothing to do. You know what I mean? I don't watch games anymore because I used to bet on the games. It was very exciting. I don't go to Las Vegas. The thing about it is you start feeling like a big cat. You know, because you lose so much money. And then they think they're fooling you. Like you go to casinos, right?
Yeah.
And they're friendly to you. Like the bigger jackass you are, the more friendly they are. You know? Like you know you're in trouble when a guy runs up wants to give you free stuff. Hey, you want a steak? You're like, no, that's all right. Free, man. I'll buy you a free, like some beef. You're like, no, that's all right.
That's just to keep you gambling is what it is.
Hey, you want to stay in the hotel like for a week? You're like, no, I'm just here for the day.
Yeah.
Or, no, seriously, and I got some steak.
Did you ever win really big? I don't know much about gambling. I don't know much about this compulsion. So, but did you ever win big? Is that the point, or is it just the action?
I don't know. I went to a psychiatrist. You ever go to those guys?
Yeah.
You did? Those guys are horrible.
Well, are they worse than the GPs?
They're much worse. I'll tell you what a psychiatrist does, man. They make you like get in touch with the emotions that you spend your life trying to avoid at all times.
Well, I'm glad you're not gambling.
This one woman, man, she was like, what do you do? And I'm like, hey, man, you know, everything's fine. She's like, no, but why?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm like all emotional. Like you on Monday night where you were emotional, you know when a guy's like not a regularly emotional guy like you,
Right.
and then they are emotional.
Right.
It's like watching Nixon cry or something. Like,
I wasn't really crying. I wasn't break down and sobbing or anything.
It was a great moment.
Yeah.
Great moment.
Oh, yeah.
And when you brought the doctors out
Right.
and all that and the staff, and all I could think of is at that hospital, what about the people that come in?
Well, I
needing help?
felt bad about the guy that left the table. Yeah.
You're a good man. It's so good to have you back. I've been having to watch Rhoda on the Channel 6.
Now, when we come back, I want you to tell the story. Every time you've been here, we didn't have time to get to the story. The first time you got drunk.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
Ah.
We'll be right back here with Norm Macdonald. With Norm Macdonald. It's a great story, and we always run out of time. And I want you to tell ahead. You were a kid, right? This is the first time you got drunk.
When I got drunk, yeah, I was a very straight-laced kid, you know.
How old were you when it started?
I was 18, 19 years old, and I decided to drink, you know. And I was out with my buddies at a bar. My God, we started drinking. They had those shooters, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are hard to take, you know. You can't gauge them, you know. there's a jukebox. It's like a Western movie, you know what I mean? And there's a bartender. There's all kinds of ladies and everything like that. And everybody's my friend, right? So I'm getting drunker and drunker with these shots, you know. They're all crazy, dirty sex name shots, you know. Like,
oh, yeah.
Here, have a dirty sex, you know. Like, oh, whatever. They make you order them.
Yeah.
You're such a drunk loser. You're like, yeah, can you have sex with me? Just come on. So anyway, I get all drunk, and then I go into the bathroom, and a dude gives me some pills. He has some pills.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And you're not supposed to ever mix pills with booze.
Is that right?
Yeah. And then any doctor...
They told you up at the Mayo Clinic?
Yeah. But this guy was not a doctor. He was just a guy I met in the bathroom.
Even worse than a GP.
He was worse than a GP. His name, though, was Dr. Midnight. But I found out he was not
really a doctor. No.
So anyways, so I take these pills, and what they do is, they say that you're not supposed to mix them, but on the other hand, in one way it works. So I'm like so drunk now and having so much fun and everything, and hey, that bearded guy having an arm wrestle with him. I don't know how to arm wrestle. Then all of a sudden I go to, I'm playing pool, I go to shoot a thing of pool, I fall down right in all the pool balls, and then I just black out, what's called blacking out. It's not passing out, but you don't remember anything. I wake up, right, I'm in a bed, but it's not my bed, you know? And I look beside me, who do I see? The fat bearded guy. So I go, holy Lord God, I had sex with the fat bearded. And at this point in my life, I was a young man. I had never had intercourse in my life. Right. And I'd always imagined this, but I never imagined it that way.
I would think so.
I imagined a nice lady in a dress.
That's right. But there's got to be a first time for everybody.
It's not all great.
No.
So I look over and I go, oh my God. Then I notice we're in twin beds. You know, we're not the same bed. And I go, is this some kind of one of them old-fashioned gay guys? There's no such thing. Gay guys are generally not old-fashioned. They're right on top of the latest thing. They're happy.
Right on top of the latest thing.
Yeah,
That's right.
And they're so ahead of things. They have sex, and they don't even use a lady. So anyway. The upshot of the story is, what happened is I never had sex with this fat guy with a beard. This guy had checked me into a rehab. This guy was like a dirty drunk. And he took me for a dirty drunk too, right? So I'm like, what the heck? He says, yeah, man, you know, go here and rehab, man, it's good for both of us. And I'm like, yeah, I got. So I had a big, like a robe on and fluffy slippers. They wouldn't give me my clothes.
Well, how long were you?
They had a bag of my clothes somewhere. They wouldn't come around.
Will they let you out?
No, 3 days I had to stay.
3 days?
They made me go to what is called an Alcoholics Anonymous, right? And I get up, I go, hey, I'm not an alcoholic, which it turns out is what a lot of alcoholics.
They all say that, yeah.
I said, the fat bearded guy, there's the alcoholic right over there.
Now, how long did you guys date? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Norm Macdonald. We'll be right back. You know, Norm, what I like about you, you're actually funny. You know what I mean? You're just genuinely funny. Everything you say is funny. Thanks to Norm Macdonald and John Goodman. Monday, Drew Carey will be here and Dolly Parton, and I will be back Monday for that big program. Have a great weekend. Craig Kilborn is next. Good night, everybody.
The Late Show is a production of Worldwide Pants Incorporated. This is Alan Coulter saying good night and drive safely. Cuff your pants!
Now don't knife me.
Can't guarantee that.
I know.
Hello?
Our next guest is a very funny man, starring in his own television program entitled The Minute Standard. So, ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Norm Macdonald. There he is. Good to have you back.
That's good to have you. Congratulations,
Thank you very
sir.
much.
You must be very excited.
Well, it is exciting. You have a son.
I have a son. He's older. He's got to be at least 8. And, but when he's first born, it's the most, that's the most exciting thing that's ever happened.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Spine.
I'll never forget it.
Guys gotta eat.
6 months later, I went hang gliding.
No, nothing personal.
I'll give that a try. Hang gliding, is it?
Yeah.
All right, sure.
It's only business.
Having a baby thing, right?
Okay. Now, what's new in your life? Tell us about what you've been going on. What have you been up to?
Not much.
Sorry.
Madhouse back there, man, with the animals and Stan Candy back there and the waiting.
Stan
Oh,
Candy's
that mess made me
He's there with
gag.
the animal.
no.
And,
Jack Candy?
Jack Hanna, so. And, what do you ask me now?
What's new in your life? How are things going? What do you
Going good, going good. I'm worried about my health, I went to, I go now to the Mayo Clinic. Up in Rochester. And I was going to a regular doctor for a while, but these guys suck. They always want to make you feel better, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? They'll take your blood pressure and they go, what have I got there? They go, 180 over 90. You go, what's that mean? They go, I don't know. And then, they hit your knee with a hammer.
Yeah.
You think that, like from the cartoon,
Yeah.
And so then they hit your knee with a hammer. Your knee goes up and they go, excellent. It's exactly how your knee should respond when struck by a hammer.
So you're saying you didn't feel like you're getting a thorough examination?
No, and I wanted thorough, so I thought I'd go to the Mayo Clinic and I'll get examined by everybody. 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 So I go there and I go to all the doctors. I go to the nose doctor, I go to the ear doctor, I go to the nose doctor, I go to the stomach doctor, I go to the ass doctor.
The ass doctor. The ass doctor?
I'll tell you something, man. That's the most important doctor. I don't know. At first I was a little suspicious because I know that in medical school there comes a time when you have to pick your specialty.
All right, stop it. Stop it.
But anyways, the ass doctor is very important, quite seriously.
Yeah, why not?
Because a lot of, and you're very nervous about that examination, because you don't want it to be painful and to be enjoyable.
That's true.
But anyway, so I went to every guy, every doctor, and I do a thing that I believe I tell them my symptoms I don't have, so I get a thorough examination.
That's right.
So I go to the throat doctor, my throat hurts all the time, constant pain in my throat. The guy's like, good Lord, so he gives me a real thorough, and then the stomach doctor, and then he checks out my stuff, so real thorough, I don't want to talk about the ass doctor, but
Oh, you got
I go through all the doctors, and
you got lives to spare.
I'm wheezing and coughing, and then I get the thorough examination.
How did it work?
Clean bill of health.
Oh, congratulations.
Absolutely.
Testicles,
That must be
stop
a
it.
huge peace of mind for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it gives
Love
you.
it.
It gives you peace
You're
of mind.
killing me.
For a while. Because doctors really, they can't. That's all
That's
they
the
can do
point.
is give you not bad news. They can only tell you you have nothing. They can't. They never give you good. It's never like the doctor will come out and go, good news, the blood test came back. You're immortal.
Yeah. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, they just tell you, oh, you got nothing yet.
Yeah.
Keep coming back, and I'll give you this piece of news that will shatter your life. 6 months later, I decided I'll get me some life insurance because I have my kid that's he's got to be at least 6. And I go, I'll get some life insurance because this is irresponsible of me not to have life insurance. So I apply for life insurance. Every life insurance company turns me down.
What?
And I go, holy bullets, something's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Because maybe Mayo Clinic lost a file or something.
Switch the records?
Switch the records, often happen.
No, I don't think of the Mayo Clinic that often.
No, not at the Mayo Clinic,
no.
but it's a lesser.
Lesser clinics.
So anyways, I find
Dang.
out that the
Okay.
insurance company is privy to all the doctors' notes.
Oh.
So they have me like with severe abdominal pains and a sore throat, rectal bleeding.
Well, of course we're not going to insure you with that.
No.
So your little scheme backfired.
Yeah, I had to get one of the Ned McMahon insurance things.
Now,
Get like $1 million insurance and you end up paying $500,000 a year for it.
what have you been out doing stand-up? I know you're probably really busy with the show. Did you ever get to go out?
Oh no, yeah, I've been off show business for a while, and I do the Smoky nightclub. And recently, I was pleasant news. I said, hey, would you mind going to this hospital, to entertain, the orderly, people in the hospital. I thought that'd be a nice thing to do. That would be a great deal of nice thing. So, no, I do. I'm a very nice guy. So I go to the hospital. I'm driving to the hospital. You gotta drive me. I don't know yet, but I will. I'll learn. As my child approaches his 13th birthday, I feel I should soon. So I go to the hospital. The guy, Sid Younger, that books his gigs, he tells me, you just talk to, you gotta talk to the orderlies and the staff and the patients. I get there, so they're driving me there, and we're to the hospital and everything, and we're getting close to the hospital. All of a sudden, I see what's barbed wire, right? And there's guards and everything. And there's a big giant sign that says, State Hospital for the Criminally Insane. So now I'm being frisked, and I get in, and now I'm
Nice knife.
Wednesdays at 8:30 at Fox. Norm, a pleasure to see you again. Thank you very much for being here. Norm Macdonald, we'll be right back with Jack Hanna, everybody. Our next guest is a very funny man who has a brand new comedy album right here. It's stores now here in the Always. Norm Macdonald.
GG.
Norm, you look great.
I do, yeah. I mean,
Well, thank you very much. We haven't seen you in a while, and you look like you're really in shape. Are you taking care of yourself? You working out? What's going on?
me, I'm all right. My cholesterol was, I had problems with my cholesterol.
Oh, yeah.
So I went to my doctor last year, and I got my cholesterol checked, right? And then I came back again this year, and he's like, how you doing with that cholesterol? And I go, I'm not doing anything. And he goes, well, I'm looking at your file here, and last year it showed that your cholesterol is alarmingly high. So I go, well, you didn't tell me that. And he said, well, I told you that. And I go, no, I would remember that phrase, alarmingly high, you know? So he says, well, let's do it again, you know? And I go, well, all I have to do is eat the cake and, chugging half an hour. So I go, I know that the test,
Chugging half
I know the test will come back, and it will be whatever the word is that's worse than alarmingly high, you know? So I was sort of scared, you know? So it comes back, and it's really off the charts, you know? And I'm like, oh, geez, man, are you going to have to do a Letterman on me there? And he goes, so he goes, he goes, no, we haven't reached that level yet. You know, your cholesterol's high. You can lower it, but he goes, I have to warn you, you have to lower it, or we're going to have to do a Letterman on you. So I said, okay, you know, and I went incredible, like, I did it myself. I just checked the www computer, and I found out all the things, and in 10 weeks, I had, my cardiologist was like stunned. She's incredible. You've never seen it, but anyways, from 296 to 120. Whoa. But the only bad thing is they have bad cholesterol, good cholesterol, and one of the cholesterols didn't change, and my cardiologist explained to me, you know, that cholesterol is like exercise. So I was like, geez, you know. So I'm really good at not doing things, like not eating stuff, but I'm bad at going out and doing stuff, and that's how I'm alive, holy crow.
Well, it looks like it's paid off. Yeah. What kind of stuff was the trainer doing?
He was, these guys are like superhuman. They look like, you know, from earlier, you know? They're like super human beings, you know? So they think you can do what they can do, you know? And I've told the guy, $50 an hour, I said, look, don't try to earn your money or anything like that, you know? Like, all I want to do is get my cholesterol down. I don't care to have a vein in my arm. You know, no use for abs. I just want to knock out. So,
Huh. This one's fine.
he's like, I know what you can take. I know what you can handle, you know? And I'm like, all right. So he's got me doing those bench presses, and then they do this trick. Like, you go, okay, you're at 15, you know, you go, 5 more, 3 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, and 10 more. And I go, what the why did you say 25 in the first place? So anyways, I'm in the gym there, and we're doing the thing, and over in the corner, a fracas happened, a little thing. I go, what happened over there? And it turned out, the guy had a heart attack.
Icy grip of Hitler.
And there's nothing redeeming with the guy. I tell you guys, I go, how on earth did these Germans follow this lunatic, And they're like, oh, he was an incredible public speaker, he could hypnotize you with his public speaking. And then I see him, he's like, strike like Harley! Strike hard! I go, what? That's not my idea of a silver-tongued devil, So anyways, that's not the point. The point is my dad went over and he liberated Hama. I'll tell you something about the Dutch there. Don't forget, my dad, a very poor farmer, couldn't be poor, went over to Holland, liberated the country, and they never forgot. Every 5 years, we would go and they would throw petals, and it was fantastic.
So grateful. The Dutch
Yeah,
so grateful
so
for
grateful,
what the Canadians have done.
So I went over.
He was in the Canadian Army, right?
Yeah, well, mostly it was my dad, but no, I used my dad as a surrogate for the entire Canadian Army. But so I went over because my dad's dead, and so I said, it'd be great to see you. So I went to Amsterdam, and oh my lord, at first, it's a picturesque place. People are driving around their bicycles over cobblestone streets, the canals are beautiful, windmills, and it looks. But then the whole country's gone to hell in a handbasket. You would not believe this. You can do drugs legally.
Really?
Legally. They have a place called coffee shops, right? So I went into one. I said, hey, man, I enjoy coffee, but can I have a coffee? They're like, we don't have coffee. The coffee shop. They go, we got drugs. So I'm like, I don't want drugs. That's wrong. What the hell are you talking about, And then prostitutes in the window. You walk along and there's prostitutes in the window that you can go and have illegal sex. It's legal there, and it's all ass over tea kettle wrong, And so then I had a whole different view of the place with just these, crazy people.
That's right.
So anyways, one night I was going back to my hotel, and I'm going back to my hotel, and I can't find my hotel because everything's in, they're all foreigners, so it's all different language, hard to find the streets and stuff. So I was walking around forever. Finally, I see my hotel, and I get there, and there's a red light, And have you ever been to those places where named him after the literary figure Dagwood Bumstead. No, his name is Dylan.
Dylan.
Named after Dylan Thomas, because my father read me Charles Christmas in Wales. So, when the kid's young, as Dylan was, I used to play basketball with him, and I would always let him win, because I figured that was the thing to do as a father. He's 16 years old, and he can beat me easily. Now, he thinks he's always been able to beat me. I told him, I said, no, I used to let you win. He's like, no. So my advice is, beat the hell out of him. While you can.
Not sure that I can even now.
You gotta keep your affairs in order just in case anything happens. You gotta have a will. Now you gotta have the living will. In case you get incapacitated in life, you have to say what your wishes are. Whatever you do, don't pull that plug.
Really?
Yeah. Because I tell you what happens. As soon as you get there, you're incapacitated. They get your relatives and your friends around. They go, hey, Norm's incapacitated. Any of you guys know? And they're like, yeah, oh yeah. I remember Norm saying he wanted to get killed. And then we don't have to visit him no more, right?
Yeah.
So I also don't have a plug. I have a series of plugs.
Really?
I don't want one plug, and then when I'm standing come with the wide broom, knock out my plug. My brother's
suspenders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll tell you something. My mom said, hey, you don't want to be a burden. Good Lord, I hope don't want to be a burden. I'm lying there incapacitated. You can't take 10 minutes out of your bridge game to come touch my hand.
I agree with you, Norm.
Some people, in their living room, they go, no, I'd much rather not lie in this comfortable bed. Please bury me in the earth.
Well, 2 points of view on that. Now, Norm, I remember years ago you told me that you were there for the first time. I always remember that. You said that was the most exciting thing you've ever participated in.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
I took crystal meth.
No, you didn't.
I didn't know where you were getting
No,
at.
that's right. No, and then you said a couple weeks later you went skydiving.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that was what it was. Yeah. And or hang gliding. Yeah, hang gliding. And how was that compared to the first?
It was a joke. I did it.
I have to do your act for you now. Is that what it's come to? And you said that was much more exciting than the bird. All right, I'll tell you what, we'll be right back here with Norm Macdonald, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, oh boy, Norm. How about Leonard Nimoy?
Oh, yeah, that was great. Cool. I met, in the airport, I met Matlock.
Oh, Matlock is Andy Griffith.
Yeah, Andy used to call himself Andy Griffith. Now he goes by Ken Matlock.
Really goes Ken Matlock.
But, I was in the airport, and he was in there, the bookstore.
Cause my man like.
And you're sure it wasn't him?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm certain, because he just kept yapping and yapping, and,
Now, congratulations.
I did. I quit smoking.
That's great news, Norm. Were you a lifelong smoker?
Yeah, I smell lifelong smoker?
Yeah, lifelong. All your life? Most of your
Well,
life?
of course not all my life.
I mean, you started early.
Oh, yeah, well, one. No, I smoked for a long time, and I smoked as much as you could. People would ask me, how many packs a day? I smoked from when I woke up to when I went to sleep, so you could not smoke more than I did. But I quit. I tried different things, but I quit. I finally quit to tyranny of will. One guy...
You have taken the lead.
One guy wanted me to try hypnosis.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, and it worked for him and everything like that, but I didn't want to do that on account of, I'd rather smoke to tell you the truth, because I don't want to think of myself as that susceptible. You know what I mean?
You're kind of soft in the...
Yeah, like I don't want to go, hey, good news, I quit smoking. Bad news, I no longer have free will.
The Impossible. And you saw him in a theater?
Yes, in a big theater. And I don't know if you've ever seen these shows. They bring up guys from the audience and they talk to them, and then one guy can speak Martian. Because the other guy, who can do something else. And then a quarterback. And then another guy's a chicken. So anyways, they go, go, and everybody runs around. So anyways, I'll never forget, I was sitting there in the aisle with my brother. And the guy who thought he was a chicken came running by me. Started hacking the things and, cluck, 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 and all this. So, yeah. So it's, grain and his own feces and all sorts of things. So he exits anyways, and then after the show, I'm quite astonished by the whole. I'm only a young lad, and I go out into the parking lot and see the guy. He's a chicken. So I walk up to the guy and I go, man, how'd that feel? It must have been amazing. Feel like a chicken. How'd that feel? And he goes, oh, it was cool. And, I don't know, because imagine if for 15 minutes you thought you were a chicken, right? And then afterwards you go, and then I go, hey, how'd it feel? I act like a chicken. You go, oh. He'd have to spend the rest of his life trying to get back on track because his mind had been shattered.
No. Shattered by the experience of being...
Well, of course, if you thought for 10 minutes that you were actually a chicken, would you be able to do the show the next night?
Well, I guess not.
Or would you go, no, that was cool.
You're exactly right. Now, Norm, we're running out of time, but I would be remiss here if I didn't bring up something. People have been bothering me about this. People come on the show, and they say, well, the next time you see Norm Macdonald, he's got tremendous stories about the great Bob. You have a story you can tell us about Bob Uecker. What's the Milwaukee Brewers?
Well, Bob Uecker is my best friend. He's a great man. I know Artie told the story when he was here. Bob was not too thrilled with that. But, Artie Lang, yeah. But Bob is a very, very funny man, and I go off and go in the booth with him, Oh, sure. So one time we were there, and John Fogerty, so John Fogerty was there. So Bob Uecker's a very interesting guy. He keeps everybody very down to earth. So he was talking to me. He says, "Hey man, you know that guy?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "That's John Fogerty, rock and roll singer." I go, "Yeah, I know who it is." He goes, "Yeah, man." He goes, "I played in a golf tournament with him." He goes, "You probably think of him as something that likes to bite the heads off of chickens." This guy can.
That's exactly how I think of it.
This guy can get it out of his pants off like nobody's business. So he goes, "You got a hell of a set of pipes on him."
Show. He'll be there tomorrow through May 10th. Oh, that's a nice long run for you there across the street.
Too long for my liking.
Way to sell tickets, Norm. And he'll be at the Helium Club June 18th through the 20th in Philadelphia. Gosh, I hope we see you sooner than however long it's been. Always a pleasure. It's Norm Macdonald, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with Animal Collective, everybody. Our first guest is a very funny man and the star of a very funny brand new television program entitled Sports Show with Norm Macdonald, and you can see it April 12th on Comedy Central. Here he is, the always entertaining Norm Macdonald, ladies and gentlemen. I saw that show today, Norm. It was very funny.
What show? The TV show?
Yeah, your TV show.
Oh, yeah,
Congratulations. And by the way, you look very youthful. And how come we haven't seen you in 2 years?
Oh, how come I haven't been here in 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I've been busy. I got a kid, you know. Well, you got a kid. How old Harry?
He's 7.
Yeah, man, they grow up so slow. You know, it's barely discernible. Isn't it?
Yes, how old is your son?
He's 18. They get far less cute. They're not as cute when they're out on the lawn touching you in the chest.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's good to have you here.
Oh, it's good to be here.
In addition to the new show, the Norm Macdonald Sports Show, you have like stand-up.
Yes, I did a Comedy Central special.
Right.
One of 40 they did this year on Comedy Central. And, but it was fun, but I got a weird time. They showed it at 11:30, and on Saturday, and that was during this thing called Earth Hour. Some people know what it is.
Yeah.
On Earth Hour, you have to turn off your electricity. So, and as you know, as I know, and as they apparently know, TVs are powered by electricity. So, and furthermore, my key demographic is damn dirty hippies.
Yeah. Oh, man. Now listen, I'm very surprised that it talks about this. Following.
Yeah, so I'm an internet sensation.
Whoa! Now I didn't take you for a guy that would know about that kind of
I know
stuff.
all about that stuff.
Really? When did you start doing that?
2 weeks ago. So this was for the Oscars. The guy told me how to do it, and I was watching the Oscars. You know how horrible those were. And so it was pretty easy to do just jokes on how horrible I was. And you know, and some of the things were nice, like it was nice to see Chris Russell, of course, you know, and we had this terrible story, which didn't affect his comic timing at all. And but so I kept twittering 190 tweets, and which turns out way too much.
Really?
So people said, get this, just earlier this happened, right before we came on the show, I walked out of here, I'm in some kind of interview with Steve Martin.
I know that Steve also actively tweets.
Yeah, so this is what happened, did this. You know how to tweet? You don't know how to tweet? Where you been? He writes a tweet, I misunderstand it, I reply, what he said? Okay. Well, this is what he said. I'm not really that great at it, but he said, has anybody seen my hat? Now, I'm looking everywhere for it. I can't find my hat. So I say, was it a brown fedora with a red hat band? But what I didn't know is he sent a twit pic
It's invaluable.
What do you think I should answer? This is the last thing he said. He goes, this came in 9 seconds ago. He goes, still mulling over this tweet from Norm Macdonald. It's so enigmatic. Is it a put down?
I don't, honestly, I mean, he lost a hat, right?
Yeah.
And then you responded, is it with a red hat band?
Yeah.
I don't, none of this makes any sense.
It's a generational thing.
Oh,
Oh man,
well,
that was a close one.
what is it?
Now, I will tell you what's cool about the internet and being internet sensation stuff. On the YouTube now, everybody, you know, I don't know if you remember, but this famous, and did you ever hear the Andy Williams quote? In the future, everybody will be famous for 25 minutes.
Yes, I think it was Andy Warhol. Andy Williams was Moon River.
Oh.
Andy,
Well,
it's a
whatever.
generational
Whatever.
thing. Yeah, okay.
But here's the thing. Like, for instance, have you ever heard of Harrison Schmitt? Okay. He walked on the moon. Right. An astronaut. A guy who walked on the moon. There's very few people that have been in the position to go, hey, where's the moon? There it is.
Well, you're right. That's a good point.
Right. Now, so 12 people have landed on the moon. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. Who else?
Right.
So this Harrison Schmitt fella must be going, what the hell do I have to do to get famous? Right. Meanwhile, the Kardashians, you know, clothing, you know. Yeah, Lois.
Lois Kardashian.
Oh,
We'll be right back with Norm Macdonald, everybody. I don't know. You can tweet Steve Martin. Can you tweet him right now?
I can tweet it.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And that you're on the show. You're
Okay.
talking about him. And
Okay,
I
awesome.
said,
Awesome.
And add this. I'm sorry about it.
You know what's great also, while I do this, I'll tell you this. The great thing about the blogosphere. Now, the great thing is this, that you have friends, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, on the computer, I have about 160,000 friends.
Oh.
In real life, I have 2.
Oh,
But I actually like my friends on the blogosphere here because this is the thing. Like they can go like in real life, right? Your friend will go, hey, my grandmother died this morning, and then you go, oh, good. Do you want to come over to my house and talk about it for 4 hours? And then on this thing, your friend can go, hey, my grandmother died today, and then you go unfollow.
Now, Norm, do I remember that you were?
I'm talking to Steve Martin.
Okay. Just get that over to him by Labor Day. Did we know that?
Yeah, I used to gamble.
You don't gamble
I
anymore.
don't gamble anymore.
Was it a problem? Did it be a problem?
Yeah, I got into a problem, man. And then I tried to do it smart. Every time I tried to do it smart, a bad thing would happen, you know?
What do you mean?
Well, one time I was trying to handicap baseball, you know, which you can actually beat baseball. Handicap it properly. So I was trying to handicap, and I figured it out for like 3 hours. And I went down, I was looking around, look. Went up to the fella, you know, and the guy was down, you know, with a end that he was dressed like a little fish. He opened, we got that big, he spilled $10,000. He spilled out like $750,000. And he's going to bet on this boxer, you know, fighter. And it was a 4-to-1 underdog. So I said, I'm not going to bet my baseball bet. I'll just bet on this 4-to-1 underdog. You know? Yeah, this guy must know somebody, probably in the mafia. So I rich guy. He loves long shots.
There's just no winning, is there?
There's no winning. Nobody ever wins.
This sports show with Norm Macdonald premieres. It's my birthday, April 12th. I saw it this afternoon. Very funny show, and I think it's going to be a huge hit for
You
you.
want to hear a sports show?
Yeah.
Are you like racing cars, right? How about that Daytona 500? How about that kid that won? How old is he? Yeah. He raced all around. You know why he went so fast, apparently? He was texting the whole time. It's generational. The show premieres April 12th on Comedy Central. Sports show with Norm Macdonald. Great pleasure to see you. I hope you don't wait 2 years to come back. Welcome back to CC Sabathia, ladies and gentlemen.
Our first guest is one of the. This guy is actually funny. There's no two ways about it. Any way you look at it, up, down, left, right, he's funny. Wake him up in the middle of the night, he's funny. Drive cross country with him, he's funny. Fight him, sparring sessions, he's funny. Have him come visit you in the hospital, nothing is funny. He'll be at Greenwood Village, Colorado on April 24th and 25th. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Norm Macdonald. Come on, Norm.
So nice to have you here, Norm. That was it.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, sir.
Place goes crazy. Oh, okay. Hey.
Have I been funny so far?
More than funny, my friend. All right. Norm,
Some sort of practical joke at this point.
I haven't seen you in a while. I saw you on the Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary show.
Oh, yes.
You were great on that. And what's been going on? Bring us up to date. What's been on your mind?
I had a big pork chop for dinner, and I live in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But my belly too big for the anyway. Two things struck me while I was eating dinner, Dave. One, you eat dinner at a restaurant different than you eat dinner at your home. Like at your home, you would never say, "Man, I'm gonna make myself a pork chop, cook it up till it's hot on one side, then turn it over, hot on the other side, and then cut into it a little bit, see how it's going in the middle." But while I'm waiting for my pork chop to get nice and hot and delicious so I can eat it, first I'll eat a big loaf of bread.
So that's at home.
Yeah,
That's
at
how you
home.
do it
Get 20 or 30 pats of butter. The other thing I noticed is dessert. Now, in the old days, dessert, the waiter would come to your table and go, "What do you want for dessert, apple pie or a cherry pie?"
Oh, yeah.
You go, "I'll have a cherry pie."
Sure.
Or an apple pie, no matter. No reason to divide the audience this early.
No, that's right. You don't want to do that, no.
But you would order your pie, you'd eat it, and everything would be fine on earth.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's all different. Guy comes, he's got a big tray.
Oh, yeah.
He had a canted angle, every confection known to man.
Sure.
Suddenly, his tone changes. It's not like the pork chop anymore. Some kind of sexual undertones going on. He's like, you like this? You're like, I don't know. What is it? You like decadent things?
Yeah.
You're like, not that much.
No, yeah.
Once in a while, I guess.
Yeah.
May I tempt you, please? No, I'm a fella, you're a fella.
Yeah. It's embarrassing a little.
A little bit.
Now, Norm, I don't know your age, none of my business, but let me just ask you this. Are you at that age when you start to notice your age is bringing different things to the party?
Oh, yeah, I don't remember nothing no more. I used to remember everything, man. Remember all the presidents,
Having trouble with the...
all the prime ministers, from Sir John A. Macdonald right up through Stephen Harper.
Canadian prime ministers, sure.
But now I can't remember. And, as an actor, it's hard, I've heard. But I had a TV show once, Norm. I played Norm. That was the one time I was not funny. No, it was a fine show. But we had a great actor on it, and his name was Jack Warden. You remember Jack Warden?
Of course I remember Jack
My
Warden.
God.
Yeah, great actor.
You remember that?
I think they have a picture of Jack.
They have a picture of Jack Warden? There he is. You guys remember Jack Warden?
Likeable. A Broadway star, too.
He was. He was on Broadway. He told me he was in the Man in the Glass booth where he had to go an hour and a half, one single monologue. Now, I have him on my show, the Norm Show. I played Norm. And his memory's gone, and he didn't like it, and it frustrated him. And I remember I was in the scene with him, so I had to remember all my lines just in case he got his right. So it was really hard on me as well.
Yeah, it could take a toll on you.
Yeah,
sure.
so I remember the first line he had, we're watching a hockey game. He's a tough old guy, playing a tough old guy. And he was like, his line was supposed to be, I tell you, Normie, hockey's no good anymore, not since they put in their helmets. That was the line, right? So he looks over at me and just blank eyes. So I know he don't got nothing. But he's trying to use his acting skills, So he looks at me and goes, Normie, Normie. And you could see what he remembered through what he said. Like, because he said it at this exact moment. He'd go like, Normie, Normie, Normie. Hockey, Normie. Hockey, Normie. And we're in the set as a rink.
Oh, yeah.
Hockey, Normie. I'll tell you about hockey, Normie. I'll tell you, it's no good anymore, Normie. You know why it's no good anymore, Normie? I'll tell you right now. Normie. That was cut. Take two.
I really appreciate you coming on here tonight. I don't know if you've heard, but I'm not going to be around much longer.
Yes, I know, and I understand there's only 12 shows left, and this may be my last appearance.
Well, I hope not, but.
So I was going to ask for a souvenir.
You're the first person to bring this up, and I'm touched. And I want to say to you, Norm, as a friend and as somebody I have admired your entire career, whatever you want is yours. Except, Todd, you're not giving up the sweatshirt, all right? Anything you want.
Okay, excellent. Well, maybe, I know.
What? No, wait a minute. That's, Norm, those are expensive. Can you... Be careful. Oh, my God. Norm, look out. It's fine. That's fine. It's still under warranty. Okay, we'll be right back with Norm Macdonald, ladies and gentlemen. Have you, I know as a comedian, one of the places everybody wants to work because it's all right there for
Oh, my God, I'm winded from that joke.
Yeah, that's the very best kind.
I will say, in all sincerity, I know you don't like to hear these things. Emotions, you're like Nixon.
I'm like Nixon.
But I will say, your hero was Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Well, you are my Johnny Carson.
Oh, stop it. Please, Norm. Please, let's get all
now. But what complicates things a little, Dave, is Johnny Carson was also my Johnny Carson.
Good.
So I have two Johnny Carsons.
Let me just say something about you. One of the many things that I love about you was your love of George Miller, who was a great friend of mine.
Oh, my God, I love George Miller.
Yeah.
Can I do a George Miller joke?
Yeah, do a George Miller joke.
This is a George Miller joke. He goes, I was watching Wild Kingdom with my mother.
Yeah.
It said at the end, directed by Wolfgang Bauer. Produced by Wolfgang Bauer. My mother said, you suppose that's the same? Wolfgang Bauer?
Oh, man. Well, my favorite joke, and it'll take a little explaining. I've told it over and over again. It was told by his girlfriend at his memorial after he had passed away. He and his girlfriend not getting along very well, and George apparently one night had come into her apartment while she was gone and done some mischief. And so she called the police, and she sent them to George's house, and the cops were saying, do you know anything about this? And he said, well, no, what happened? He said, well, among other things, somebody wrote an obscenity on her bedside picture of Jesus Christ. And George said, oh, I thought that was Dan Fogelberg. Strong, huh?
Sure. There's a passing resemblance, no question.
Yeah. So anyway, when you're in Las Vegas,
the oddest slogan I've ever heard. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, they say. Of course, it's not true. You can't kill a person, leave, follow you across state lines and bring you back, and you'll face a jury of your peers. So I said, what does that mean? What does it mean? Like, what are they getting at, you know? I started ruminating about it. I started whittling.
oh, you whittle.
Yeah, when I ruminate, I whittle.
Whittle and ruminate.
Yeah, whittle.
Hand in hand.
And I said, what does that actually mean? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And it came to me in a sudden. What it means is you can have sex with a prostitute in Las Vegas, and she will not tell your wife. They're very discreet in Vegas. They're not like these gossipy small town whores. You know. These blabbermouths down at the beauty parlor with that pale blue thing over their head, whatever that is, go, you're Hank Johnson's husband? By God, I had sex in exchange for cash last night with him. Small world.
Yeah, in exchange for cash. Now, Norm, is baseball and Bob Uecker.
Great Bob Uecker.
Great catcher, radio announcer now forever for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Funniest man in the world.
Very, very funny guy. And is a
dirty, and he's dirty. Very talks dirty.
Is that a fact?
Swears all the time.
But you guys are pals?
Yeah, I love him.
That's great. What do you
first met him at Arizona at a spring training game, and I had just gotten a show, the Norm Show. I played Norm.
Everyone's talking about it.
So Bob Uecker said, hey, man, what are you doing now? So I go, oh, I got a show in and Bob Uecker had already, was on a successful stand-up show called Mr. Belvedere, which starred Christopher Hewitt, who studied at the Oxford Academy, as Mr. Belvedere, the butler to Bob Uecker's character. So I said, I'm doing a show, the Norm Show. I play Norm. And he said to me, he goes, hey, man, you know Belvedere? So I go, no, I don't know Belvedere. And he goes, oh, man, great guy. He, big fat guy, but still nice. And he goes, I'll tell you something about Belvedere you might not know. I go, what's that? He goes, he loves fried mozzarella. I go, oh, how do you know that? He goes, well, in the back of these TV shows, they have little things where you can get food, and they had a little stove, you know, with a skillet. And, man, I'd put mozzarella on there, and I'd feed it to him. And then one time I got called into a big meeting, and all these muckety-mucks were sitting around. They said, you got to stop feeding Belvedere. I said, man, he likes it.
Now,
I'll tell you, he said it one time I was with him. not swear. The only time that he did not, compulsively swear. And we were playing golf at Troon in Arizona. And it was kind of a wistful moment. We got to the ninth hole, and he looked out, and there were about four guys and two women. They looked like real estate people. And he looked out, and he goes, "Oh man," he goes, "the desert is one of the most beautiful places in the world, Norm. Man, you look out there at night, and it's just so kaleidoscopic, man. You can't help but believe in God. And, it breaks my heart when I see these people putting up condos and just condo after condo over the most beautiful thing in nature." And then he looked at me and he realized, I think, that he hadn't said something dirty in a while. So he said, or maybe it's a...
What? Yeah, that's right. That's what I was thinking.
There's no middle ground.
No, it's either 0 or 100 miles an hour. Norm, God bless you.
I'll miss you, baby. I'll miss you.
Well, we're going to see you. We're going to see you whatever you're up to. Ladies and gentlemen, could be the funniest man in the world. We got the paperwork on that. He'll be performing at Comedy Works, Greenwood Plaza Village in Colorado, April 24th, 25th. God bless you again,
Thank
Norm.
you, sir.
Thank you very much. We'll be right back to Theo James. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something exciting. Our next guest made his stand-up debut. I did not remember that. This man began his television stand-up debut with us 25 years ago.
Didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Very talented actor. Nobody funnier. Ladies and gentlemen, Norm Macdonald.
Thanks, guys. Listen, I don't want to brag or anything, but me and Oprah are making the same money tonight. But the show has loosened up considerably. I noticed I was watching Oprah and Dave talking about weed and booze. I don't do either of those. The hardest drug I ever did, LSD. And I remember I was a kid, I was like 16, and I remember they warned me, they said, "Hey, you gotta be careful with that LSD on account of you can get a flashback. 10 years can go by, 20 years, 30 years, and a flashback will happen." So I thought, hey, that seems like a good deal. You tell me I buy a drug for $5, I eat it, I get high, and then 20 years later I get high again? That's not the point. I like to stretch my drug dollar. The point is this. 10 years have passed, 20 years have passed, 30 years have passed, and no flashbacks. What a jip that turned out to be. Just more horse by the big acid companies, that's all it is. But I can't believe it's been a quarter century since I made my television debut. It was all different back then. It was back then, I remember if you wanted to take a picture, you would use a camera, not a telephone. As a matter of fact, if you used a telephone, people would look at you odd. Just stay still like that. What about in the old days when they took pictures of you way back, where they pulled that thing and exploded and stuff? I got a picture of my great-grandfather. The thing took 6 hours to take your picture, and it was a picture of my great-grandfather, one. Every guy had one picture back then. And it's just him like, I gotta get back to feed them hogs. Who's gonna feed the hogs? Somebody gotta feed them hogs. Now, in the future, of course, it'll be different. 50 years from now, people will be going like, hey, you want to see 100,000 pictures of my great-grandfather? I got him right here, plus everything he did every day of his life. Hey, this occurred to me today. ID, which I had to show it again. There's a strange abbreviation when you think about it. I is short for I, and then D is short for dentification. They could have split that one up a little better, you know? But I watch the TV, I watch the news, make you afraid, the news, you know? Put all these stories on, Iraq, Iran, North Korea, you know, try to scare you, you know? But does it ever really scare you? Like, you ever wake up in the middle of the night, North Korea! That little tiny country across the ocean. I wonder if they'll get me. Plus, didn't MASH settle that like 20 years ago? I have to watch. That's a stupid show. There is one country that worries me, though. Not Iraq, not Iran, not North Korea. The only country that really worries me is the country of Germany. I don't know if you guys are history buffs or not, but... in the early part of the previous century, Germany decided to go to war. And who did they go to war with? The world. It had never been tried before. And so you figure that would take about 5 seconds for the world to win, but no, it was actually close. Then about 30 years pass, and Germany decides again to go to war, and again it chooses as its enemy the world. And this time they have that guy, Schrankly, Crankly, that guy, and I'm not even going to dignify him by saying his name, but I think you know what I'm talking. But you'd think at that point the world will go, listen, Germany, here's the deal. You don't get to be a country no more on account of you keep attacking the world. I mean, what do you think, you're Mars or something? Anyways, listen, folks, this will be my last time on the David Letterman show, I understand. And you guys, we all know that David Letterman was the greatest talk show host who ever lived. But I remember Dave differently because the first time I saw him, I was 13 years old. I was living in... I was living in Toronto, Canada, and I went to a talk show they had there. And David Letterman was the stand-up comedian on the show. And I loved stand-up. And David Letterman did this joke that I told everybody this joke. I love this joke. It still stays with me as my favorite stand-up joke ever. So I'd like to do it for you if you'd like to hear it. He goes, I was on the street the other day, and I saw a garbage truck, and on the back of the garbage truck, there was a small sign that said, "Please do not follow too closely." Another of life's simple pleasures ruined by a meddling bureaucracy, ladies and gentlemen. You remember the old days when Dad would pile the kids in the station wagon and we'd all go out and follow a garbage truck? I'd just like to say, I know that Mr. Letterman is not for the mawkish, and he has no sense for the sentimental. But if something is true, it is not sentimental. And I say in truth, I love you. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Norm!
Very funny, Norm. And thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Norm Macdonald, ladies and gentlemen. That was very sweet, Norm. Good night, everybody.
Now, stay tuned for James Corden. This is Alan Calder speaking. Good night, everybody. The Pants People.
Yeah.
How's the family? How's everything going?
Great, man. Couldn't be better. Life is fantastic.
Yeah. That's
I
good.
like life, man.
You do, really?
Oh my God! People that complain about it. First of all, you're lucky. You're lucky enough to be alive. When you think about it, you know what I'm saying. Your mother had to have sex with your father. That your grandparents had to have sex. Great grandparents
Yeah.
had to have sex. It's lucky you're alive. My God.
It's amazing.
And I'm so happy every day
You
that I'm
should be.
alive because it's just a fluke. There's so many more people that never got to be alive. You know? And,
That's an interesting point. I guess you're right. If you do the math.
So when people carp about it, I'm like, man, it's the greatest gig in the world, being alive.
Being alive.
You get to eat at Denny's, wear a hat, whatever you want.
Yeah. Get haircuts. It is. Well, good. I'm glad life is going well. I know.
Now, I've never asked you this before, and we've been good friends for many years. Okay, I made that up. But
No. We haven't?
no, we're friends. We're good friends. But I don't know what your McDonald. Is that Irish? Is that Scottish? What's your ethnic
My
background?
ethnic background is Polish.
Are you really Polish? Wow.
Polish people,
I didn't
yeah.
realize that.
Yeah.
McDonald. You don't.
Well, my parents changed their names. They had to because of the constant ribbing they get for being Polish, you know. And so they changed their name to McDonald. But you know, it's one of the things that I mean, I get a little upset about it, you know, because you know
All
you
the
can't.
Polish jokes and
Yeah,
stuff.
you can't make jokes about other people, but for some reason you make jokes about Polish people, you know.
Right.
I don't like it.
Right. You shouldn't. That sounds bad. Yeah.
I mean, I had an experience, you know. I go in and I order a Polish sausage, you know, from this guy, you know. And so the guy says to me, you must be Polish. And I said, come on, man. I mean, come on. Think about it, what you're saying. You know, I'm trying to knock some sense into this fellow's head, maybe give him a wider world view, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
I said, you think because I order a Polish sausage, I'm Polish. I said, what if somebody came in here and ordered French toast? Would you think he was French? You know?
Right.
And what if somebody came in here and ordered a Belgian waffle? Would you consider that guy a Belgian? You know? I mean, if a guy came in and ordered a German bratwurst, would you consider that fella to be a German fella?
Right.
I said, what if a guy came in and ordered German potato salad? I suppose you'd think he was German too. You know?
Yeah.
You know? What if a guy?
Wow, you talked to this guy for a while.
I'm telling you, man. With racists, you have to get through.
You have to really get it into their head. Right.
I said, if a guy came in and he ordered a Cuban hamburger, are you going to assume he's a Cuban?
Right.
I said, I think it is absolutely ridiculous that just because I come in here, I order a Polish sausage, why would you jump to the fact that I'm Polish?
Right.
And the guy says to me, well, first of all, it's a hardware store.
quickly, I haven't talked to you in so long. I want to ask you about your family.
My great family. I love them all.
How's your? We used to talk in the old days. You and I used to spin some yarns about Uncle Hector. How's Uncle Hector?
Uncle Hector. Uncle Hector.
He's Polish too, I'm guessing.
No, he wasn't Polish.
Oh, okay.
No, he was from my cousin's side of the family, and he was a great man, my uncle. You know,
Right.
he was an old fella. He actually rode the rails during the Depression.
Oh.
You know, he was a hobo.
Hobo.
As you might call him. I don't like that term. But whatever.
Tramp or whatever,
Yeah,
what
he's a
have you.
tramp, Railroad bum. But he wasn't a bum. He was just out. He was a good, honest man during the Depression, searching for work.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, he had no money, so he'd travel the country trying to find work, and he actually rode the rails. Uncle Hector, and he told me it was an interesting story. He'd go through. This was in Canada, and there's a town called Kitchener in Canada, and the railroad cops were tough, boy. They were tougher than the real cops. You know, they had a law of their own. The railroad cops.
I feel like I should be tucked into bed listening to you. Anyway, a law of their own, those railroad cops.
But there was not a railroad cop tougher than Kitchener Leslie. Oh boy, he was well known. He was well known for beating hobos to death.
Really? He'd find a hobo on his train, he'd beat him to death.
Beat him to death. And so what the railroad bums would all do is, as Kitchener approached, of course. Oh, hey, Alan. Hey, Norm. How you doing? So.
Wow, such focus on these stories.
That wasn't a mirror. That was another guy.
Oh, it was a guy named Norm.
Yeah. So the railroad bums would all hop off before they got to Kitchener to avoid being beaten to death by Kitchener Leslie.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, my Uncle Hector, a good man, you know, and he walked into a mine one day. This is a story for that I think the young people could learn from.
Yeah, don't go mine hopping, kids.
During the height of the Depression, where there was absolutely no work, my Uncle Hector walked into I won't say the name of the mining company. It was McIntyre Mine, and he walked in. He had his lunchbox with him and his work boots, and he said, "Sir," he said, "I want a job." And they said, "We have no jobs." He said, "Well, 500 people work here at McIntyre Mine." He goes, "I don't think there are 500 men here better than I." He says, "As a matter of fact, I don't think there are 200 men better than I." He says, I think you'd be strapped to find 100 men better than I. And by golly, he got the job. What do you think of that?
That's a great story.
Now,
I'm sensing there's more. Now back to Kitchener Leslie.
Yeah.
The most dreaded.
No. Uncle Hector.
What?
No, you want to talk about
Sorry, I'm
Uncle
trying to help you out.
No, Uncle Hector.
Dad, where's this story going?
Uncle Hector worked in a mine, and it's a hellish job, the mine, as you well know. You know, darkness, you know.
It's dank. It's
dank.
Yeah.
It's coaly.
What?
Well, you're in a coal mine.
It's not coaly. It's coal-ridden.
It's
coal-infested. It's not coaly.
It's coal-infested. So he worked in the mine, and by God, he worked hard. And after a week of working hard, he said to the shift manager, he said, He said, "By golly, I'd like to have a lady. I work hard, and where would I find a lady here in town?" Well, they said to Uncle Hector, they says, we have sex with animals here. By God, says Uncle Hector, I'm not going to do that. I'm a normal fella. Well, then be to your own devices then. So,
be to your own devices.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uncle Hector continued working in the mine. He worked hard, and he worked long, and he worked for a low wage. But he was a man. And Uncle Hector, after a couple of weeks passed, he started to get a little itch, you know, as you and I say.
Right. When we're thinking about the
ladies,
yeah.
And but he kept it under control. He went again. He said, "Are you sure there's no ladies here?" "No, we have sex with animals." "Ah, my God." 6 months passed, and Uncle Hector couldn't take it any longer. He told me.
Right.
He said, "By God, I just had to. I'm just a man. I'm weak, you know. I'm not a saint, you know. And I was born in sin, I suppose, and I couldn't resist. I just needed it." So he said he walked by a
夏目。これ。何？
試験終わったら聞きたいことあるかも。
かも。
ある。
分かった。
じゃあ頑張ってくる。ありがとう。